Brooks, do you feel the last couple games you've kind of solidified yourself? I mean, you're getting a lot more snaps than Jalen at this point, and kind of responded with a couple of your bigger passing games. So.
It's been one of those things. I think teams have really started stacking the box against us and trying to stop our running game with Eli, and I think that's where we've been trying to, I guess, throw it a little bit more, and I guess that suits me a little bit more than him. But I mean, I think we're still going to go into it each and every game with both of us and be able to have both of us at our disposal, because I think at the end of the day it's still tough for a defense to scheme for both of us. So I think we'll keep probably doing what we've been doing.
How much chemistry have you and Jamal Robinson developed over the last 2 games?
It's been a lot. I mean, we even did well a little bit against Kentucky when we played them, but it's just been tough trying to get a bunch of chemistry with people when you're kind of in and out. We've had kind of a rocky year, but it's one of those things that these past 2 games have been really, really big for the both of us, and especially for him since he's planning on leaving after this year.
What do you think it was that kept you guys from going a lot more to him earlier? I mean, I know there was one little stretch where he was hurt for a little bit, but was it something in defenses you were seeing, or what was it?
I think it was a little bit of he wasn't playing. He started off kind of slow. I think it was one of those things, and then he's progressively gotten more into it, and then his foot seemed like it was still kind of bothering him a little bit, and then I mean, at the beginning of the year it was one of those things that teams were planning on stopping him and stopping Eli, and they did a very good job of that, and then now I think we've kind of opened up a little bit more on both the running and the passing, and developed some new concepts. So I think that's opened up both Eli last night and Jamal the past couple games.
You've been able to do some things outside of the pocket. I realize that some of that's out of necessity because you guys had some changes with the injuries and stuff on the line. But do you feel more comfortable in doing those things? You know, when you've had to do them outside the pocket.
It's one of those things that we've had to fill in a tough spot with losing Mike Quave, and I think we've done a very good job of that. I think Grant's done a great job at coming in and trying to fill in for him, but it's one of those things that you get kind of a comfort level when you're outside the pocket. You can either run or you can find somebody that can just get open, because now they break their route and they just try to get open for you. So I think that helps a lot, and I mean either way, it doesn't, no preference.
You guys are in a position this week where you haven't really been in too often, where the other team's favored by a lot. How do you think the team kind of will take this underdog mentality this week?
Well, I mean, we're at a time in this season where we're fight or flight now. It's either win or you're done in December, and that's what none of us want. None of us I think we're all recruits now that have been part of bowl games, and we haven't been a part of not being in a bowl in December. So I think that's going to be one of those key things that we're talking about, because we got to win these next 2 games to be bowl eligible. So I think that's more so what we're going into it feeling like, rather than being an underdog. I think we're just trying to keep our playoff or our bowl hopes alive.
Has it been difficult for you to come in, when at times when Coach makes the changes, brings Jalen in, and then you come right back in, and you guys are behind the changes, 3rd and 12 or 3rd and 15, and it puts more pressure on you guys, to be able to try to make that distance. Has that been difficult at times? Because it seems like there's been a number of times where that's happened in the last 3 or 4
Yeah, I mean, it's just tough once you get behind the chains, because once you get behind the chains, the defense knows you're passing or knows you're limited to a certain amount of play calls, so they can rush 3 or 4 and then drop 7 or 8. And I mean, when you have 3 or 4 guys out on a route against 8 defenders, it's pretty tough to convert some of those plays. But yeah, I mean, that's one big thing that we've talked about as an offense, is not getting behind the chains, getting into more second manageable, third manageable downs. And for the past couple games, we've done a little bit better at it, but we're still too much of penalties here, a wrong play there, and then it's just now we're 3rd and 14, 3rd and 11, putting our defense back out in a vulnerable position.
How would you describe
your
Good, Tim. Jim, Bobby.
how would you describe your season so far, if you could put some adjectives to it?
Probably biggest one would probably be like rocky, a little shaky because when at Kentucky played okay, didn't come out the way we wanted to play, and then Akron wasn't good at all. We didn't move the ball like we should have, and then the past couple games I would say, other than the last 2 drives, I think I played relatively well, but it's not a 3-quarter game, it's a 4-quarter game, and whether it comes down to the last drive or not, I got to take care of the ball and not force throws.
I don't want to use the word desperation, but what attitude do you and the rest of the seniors have right now in the last 2 games?
It almost is desperation, and then it's also a thing that it's going to be a great learning lesson for our younger guys that are going through this, and they need to take great note of how things can be if you don't get the job done, and I think they're all learning from this, and I think we're all learning from this because it's definitely not fun coming in here every Sunday after a loss, and so I think we'll just move forward from this, and hopefully in the spring and in the summer we just remember this every day and just keep working hard so we don't go through this again.
What was the mood like last year after those guys beat you, and how unexpected was that?
App State?
Yeah.
It was really tough. I mean, we knew going into the game that they still had a bunch of great players. They were just a newly formed FBS team, but I mean they were always in the playoffs in the D1 AA and all that stuff. So we knew that they were a good team. They just were relatively young, and I mean it didn't feel good. I mean, anytime you get beat at home, it's tough, and so. But I mean, we definitely have a chip on our shoulder going up there because I mean we feel like they took some from us home, so we need to go up there and return the favor.
Have you guys talked about it all, about the difficulty of playing up there? And it's going to be cold. It's a hard place to get to, and obviously they're a very good football team.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be very, very tough to go up there, and I know that I'm sure they probably draw a pretty good crowd too. So the weather, because I mean everybody from southern Louisiana probably hadn't played in snow and really, really cold conditions like that. So it'll be really tough, and I think this week of practice we will really need to be in some of those environments.
Okay, everybody good? Okay. All right. Thank you, Brooks.